and welcome to this episode of Today's Parent. I'm your host, Christine Kasina. Imagine being a parent with not one, but two children with rare diseases. Today, we have an inspirational story for you and something that you're going to learn when it comes to rare diseases. We are joined by Christine Mutune, a special parent who has two children with rare diseases and passionate about this special cause. Christine.
Yes, Christine.
Welcome to Today's Parent.
Thank you.
It's different, a Christine interviewing a Christine. I'm used to saying another person's name, but it's a pleasure having you.
Thank you as well.
Thank you for joining us. You know, for me, I have a bit of background of who you are and why you're so passionate about what you're doing. But just take us through the journey of being a parent with two children, not one, but two with rare diseases. How is that like?
It's complicating because they have different rare conditions, and it's that the manifestation of those two conditions is the opposite. For example, you can say the firstborn she was born with overweight, the secondborn was born underweight.
Yeah.
So you see, it's just a matter of trying to figure out, sometimes even get confused which child am I dealing with, because it's totally opposite. And it's day by day, it's challenging as you'd expect, as anyone would expect. It's just that now, as they get older, it gets easier to manage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I understand that around the world we have 300 million people living with rare diseases. That must be tough.
Africa doesn't have its own statistics. The statistics we're using are for Europe and US, but they say that 300 million, if combined, can be the third largest country in the world.
Okay.
And it's even bigger than cancer and AIDS combined.
Wow.
Yes.
How do you classify, or, you know, I know you've walked this journey for a while. How does a doctor classify a disease as rare?
In US, they say it's 1 in every 200,000. And in Europe, it's anything that affects less than 2,500 or the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah, but basically, one that it's so rare that for you to come across somebody else, it's going to take a while.
Ah.
Yes.
So that is how it becomes a rare disease.
Yes. But they also say there are some rare diseases that are common in parts of the world, certain parts of the world, and rare in others. For example, I'll give you sickle cell. Sickle cell is considered rare in the north, but in Kenya it's not rare.
North America?
North America, Europe, they consider it rare. But in Africa, and in Kenya to be more specific, sickle cell is not rare.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, some of this, I was just going through some of the rare diseases. It's even hard to pronounce them. Alagille syndrome.
You've said it right.
Aplastic anemia.
Okay. Yes.
There's one like that.
Yes.
Cohen syndrome, I've heard of it.
Yes.
Multiple sclerosis. I thought it's a common thing.
That one is common here.
Ah.
But it's still a rare condition. But it's common with us because I think that's the one that has our highest number of members. If I can call
around
it
the world?
No, in Kenya.
Okay.
In Kenya,
okay.
Yes.
Albinism?
Albinism is rare, not in Kenya, but rare in the West.
It must be rare in the West.
Yes.
So tell me something. It must be very hard to get the right diagnosis for a rare disease.
It takes roughly minimum 5 years to get the correct diagnosis because you're shuffled from one GP to the other. By the time you get to a specialist who is interested in doing thorough research on your symptoms and your results, it's taken years.
Okay.
Yeah, so it does take a while before you get a correct diagnosis.
And the child and the parent must be suffering at that time. It must be very sad.
It is, and it does something to their mental health. Because you see, chronic conditions, you can tell a parent is watching their child go through all this. First, it's undiagnosed. Second, they don't even know where to go, who to help. Even if you had all the money in the world and you don't know what you're dealing with, you can't help your child.
That must be tough.
Yeah.
That must be really tough. What other challenges do parents with children with rare diseases go through? You know, just apart from the fact that getting a diagnosis is hard. What other challenges?
Support.
Let's
start from the basics. Support. Because like now, if you come to me and you tell me you have a rare condition, I'll ask you, what's that rare condition? Then thank God for Facebook. We'll go to Facebook and have a look and look for the global group, because there's almost always a global group. And then we'll ask you to join that group, because that's when you're going to get more or less support from somebody who and literally knows what you're going through. But then also you'll find that doctors tend to think that they know more because they have gone through to school, and then they'll come and tell you, but what are you talking about? Yet we are the experts with our own children. I know more about my condition than any other, my kid's condition,
Yeah.
than any other doctor would
Yeah.
know. So I go there, we carry files. This is now like the write-up. This is what you need to look at. This is what we need to discuss about. And if it's not a discussion, a roundtable discussion around that child, you'll find the parent will move to another doctor.
And for you, it is 2 children for that matter.
Yes.
That must be something. How about misdiagnosis?
A lot
A lot of it
especially in
happens.
Africa, because we don't have the resources. We don't have, let me pick Kenya for example, we don't have newborn screening. Newborn screening is when they prick your heel on your baby is like a day or two. Before you get discharged from hospital, they prick the heel, take blood and do tests for the basic, mostly chromosomal conditions. So by the time you're being discharged, something as simple as Down syndrome would have been detected. Something as like even sickle cell can have been detected at birth. So you find that if we have these conditions being detected early, then management becomes easy. But then because we don't have such protocols, your child, you start having missed milestones, you start having delayed this and that, and you're being told, my child was late. It's okay, yours will also be late.
Yeah, your child is different. Children are different.
Yes, there's also that I really don't like when we encourage other parents to okay the delayed milestones in their kids because somebody else was late. And you see, every child is different.
Absolutely.
And then you'll find like a lot of these conditions will be classified under maybe cerebral palsy and can be something more underlying because the manifestation or the symptoms are more or less the same. Delayed milestone, floppiness, dystonia.
Christine, let me ask you a question. From your experience with 2 children
Yes.
with rare diseases, did you ever experience with any of them a situation where you were misdiagnosed?
I've mentioned to you about newborn screening. I'll take my second one, for example. She has a chromosomal disorder. And initially, she was born, she had issues, but she overcame them at birth. But then she started missing her milestones. And the doctors didn't look deeper into why is she missing her milestones.
What kind of milestones was she missing?
Late in walking, no, how do you do? But I'm not familiar with the normal milestones, forgive me. So I think it's
Sitting,
head
crawling,
first. No, it's head. Head
becomes firm?
Yes, the neck. Then
So
there's
her head
sitting.
didn't become firm?
No. Then there's sitting, then there's crawling, then there's walking, there's talking, there's feeding. You see, all those small things that typical parents go through, for us, those are huge milestones. So she was missing all of them. Till one day, one of the therapists was like, your child looks like she has Down syndrome.
And your first one is a girl or you have both
They're
girls?
They're both girls.
Okay.
So I'm like, what? So I am like, that's almost 2 years into her life. Because now we're doing physiotherapy because she's late in walking. But we're not probing deeper into why she's not walking.
Late in walking.
And her sister also has a rare condition. But with her older sister, she also had late milestones. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure about the typical milestones.
Yeah.
But you found that if the medical books say if one person has a problem, then the next person has a delayed problem as well. There must be a connection of some sort. You probe deeper because that means there's an underlying issue.
Yeah.
Because like now my firstborn had hydrocephalus, that's water in the head. My secondborn has a hole in the heart. And I remember one of the many medics we met in hospital was like, if your children have main organ issues, there's a problem. But no, that always came in as a passing. But you're a parent. You don't want to expect the worst from your child.
No, you always expect the best.
So unalenga too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? So the therapist told me your child has Down syndrome. I'm like, no, it can't be. I did my Google research. I'm like, no, because they have specific features,
and
syndromic
features.
All
the time. You couldn't
see. I wouldn't have picked it up.
No.
But then I'm like, you know what? I can't be in denial and say I'm not gonna do a chromosomal analysis because she has delayed milestones. Her elder sister has issues. So we did a chromosomal anomaly, and he came out with yet a different chromosomal disorder, but still a chromosomal disorder. So the therapist was half right. He says that he picked the most common. Then, so it comes to a point where doctors need to stop sending us from one GP to the next to the next. If you can't handle something, take us to a specialist.
Yeah.
Let
Or
them dig
recommend a
deeper.
specialist.
Yes.
Recommend a specialist.
Let them dig deeper, because there's always a problem. You just can't brush away, oh, you're just late, or just let's do physio, it's going to be okay, such kind of things.
Beyond misdiagnosis, as a family, how hard or how easy has it been, if at all, for you guys to adjust and cope? I am sure it has not been easy.
It's expensive.
So number one, the financial implications on your family has been heavy.
Because you see, there's the medical costs, there's the educational costs, there is the day-to-day therapies, because even up to now we're doing speech therapy for the second one. She's 8.
Wow.
So you can, and then that's 3 sessions a week minimum.
You're a very brave parent.
So I don't have an option. You probably do the same if you're in the same shoes.
Absolutely.
Because you'll find you do anything for your child. It's your child.
We all will do that.
So it's been hard. And also, if you, as I mentioned earlier, mental health, if you're not careful, it will mess you up somewhat.
Let's hold the thought. We take a break and then we'll come back when you continue. Christine,
Yes.
Before we went on the break, you shared how tough it is to be a parent with a child with a rare disease. But even not only focusing on the child, for you as a parent, is it possible for you to have an ordinary, normal life?
No.
It's not possible.
Let me, first, I hit depression because I didn't know how to handle. Because when you have a child, forget even with a child with a rare condition, a child with a special need,
Yeah.
you go through grief process because you miss what could have been your child's life.
Yeah.
You have expectations. I'm gonna, like, if it's a boy, the dad is probably like, I'm gonna play ball with him. If it's me, we're gonna go to the salon, whatnot. But no, you look at what life has offered to you and you're like, this is
not fair.
Yes. So you go through some processes. So that's what's talking about mental health, which is very key. Also, you'll find that a lot of us parents of kids with rare conditions, one of us doesn't get to go to work. You see, like you can have a 2-income family.
Yes.
That's very hard because one has to be the primary caregiver because there are clinics, there are therapies, there are
need
specialists.
constant care.
Yes.
They need constant care.
And you see, you can't delegate that to a nanny.
No.
Some things you can't. That's your child's life.
Yeah.
So you just find a lot of us are either we work from home, primary caregivers.
How about dealing with, societal stigma? How do you deal with that?
I'm lucky. My immediate family, both sides, were very supportive. They welcomed the children, both of them, as they were.
That's
but
wonderful.
A lot go through stigmatization, ostracization,
I can imagine.
And I keep on saying, if I was in the village, maybe I'd have been kicked out.
And somebody would say that, there's some witchcraft going on in your family.
Yes, the stigma is high, unfortunately. And that's what we are trying to do. We being Rare Disorders Kenya, an organization of different parents, patients came together to try and be the voice of rare diseases in Kenya.
Yeah.
We are trying to destigmatize that notion that having a child with a rare condition is witchcraft. Because there's some that are genetic, so you'll find a whole line in one family have
All
the same
of them
condition.
have-
Yes,
oh,
that is
wow.
not kurogwa, for lack of a better.
Yeah, because a lot of people will then say something is definitely going on
Yes.
in that family.
Yes.
Going back to what you've just mentioned of mental health, because you have so much on your plate. Case in point, you have 2 kids with rare diseases. How do you ever take care of yourself? How do you ever get me time? Do you ever get to have just space for yourself? And maybe you can advise a parent who's watching and they're wondering,
How do
I
I
am
do
the
that?
primary caregiver. I can
Yes.
barely get any time to myself. How do you do
You
that?
have to mentally create that time. It's not easy because for me it took a while. I have to mentally say, this is my time. I've tried to go back to the gym, fallen off and on the wagon, but gym really helps.
So you have a bit of me time somewhere
Yes,
carved out.
and then you see with them, with the endorphins from the gym, that's even good for you.
Absolutely.
I have friends who are going with me through the same journey, so you find that we understand each other. So even if we have a 5-minute laughter or a whole day
You
communication,
get to exhale
Yes.
and just vent and let it out.
yes. So just you have to physically, mentally create that time for you. If you don't, you'll never get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So out of your situation, did you come up with rare disorders in Kenya, rare disorders Kenya, RDA, right?
RDK.
RDK.
Yes.
Rare disorders in
Kenya.
Kenya, but rare disorders Kenya.
Yes.
As a group of friends, parents, or is it you and then you are joined by other parents?
As a group of parents and also patients themselves, you find that you found each other online.
Interesting.
Then there's also Rare Disease Day, which is like a day set aside to create awareness on the rare diseases in the world.
In the world.
Yes, which is usually the last day of February.
Okay.
So you found that, there's somebody saying Rare Disease Day this, Rare Disease Day there. So as you're doing your research online, somebody else comes, I'm interested, and so
And that's how you get to connect.
Yes.
But let's just go back to the support that rare diseases, is it Rare Disorders Kenya?
Yes, RDK.
RDK, the
Yes.
support that Rare Disorders Kenya offers to parents. Why did you guys, I know, for the sense of community and just getting to a place where you can talk to each other, support each other. What exactly do you guys do? And what exactly do you do for parents?
We offer emotional and psychosocial support.
Very important.
Yes. We guide you through how to best manage your condition. Like I'll first tell you, you need to join a group of your specific condition. We try and help you get you the protocols from your condition so that you can take them to your respective specialist. So at least management becomes, and then we also teach you how to be your own expert, so that you don't rely on what people who don't know are telling you this is the way to be.
Right.
Yes.
Right. How does the support happen? Do you guys have a WhatsApp group, and how does the group operate? Do you guys get together, say, every quarter, once a month?
We have a WhatsApp group.
So number one, you have a WhatsApp group.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you hear anyone with a rare condition, they're added to the WhatsApp group. Then if you find somebody with a similar condition, you find that they create a sub WhatsApp group. So you find clicks forming
of
up
different
conditions that maybe they see the same specialist, or maybe the condition falls under the same umbrella in medical terms. So you find that people come together, become strong, and help each other out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do a WhatsApp group. Do you ever get to do get-togethers?
Yes. Every February we meet. It's a given.
So every February you have to meet because you have the
Rare
International Rare
Disease
Disorders Day celebrated all over the world. You say the last day of February.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you meet only once a year?
Minimum.
Minimum once a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Minimum. But as I said earlier, you'll find the small groups meet more common. But to get people to come together at once is a bit difficult.
Okay.
So we make sure at least end of Feb we've met.
Okay.
Then now the others we meet friends, coffee, wine.
Yeah, and they connect in one way or another.
Yeah.
You've mentioned something that, all of us as parents, we aspire for our children to, live to their fullest potential. In a situation like yours, how do you make it work for you, just exploring ways to nurture your two beautiful girls? How do you do that?
I don't shy them away from society. So if you know me personally, you've met my children, and they'll know you, and they're the friendliest. So we also get to show them that there's life outside the house, and show the society we love our children, because society will treat your kids the way you treat your own kids.
Right.
So we have to love them unconditionally.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, because a lot of parents some of them will shy away to even take their children in public, because one, they're tired of answering all these questions and all these gazes from people and stares. So it's just a no. It's just a no.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what advice can you give to a parent who's watching who has a child with a rare disease?
Reach out to us, Rare Disorders Kenya. Don't give up fighting for your child.
Don't give up fighting for your child.
Or if it's you as a patient, don't give up. Don't give up your rights. be strong. That we have, if you need help fighting for those rights, we are here. Yes.
Okay. Before I let you go, let's talk about February
29th this year.
February 29th. This
Yeah, this year is 29.
You know, but this year gets to 29th, by the way.
Yes.
A rare February. So we are going to celebrate rare disorders all over the world.
Yes.
A way to create awareness.
Bring in different stakeholders. Yes. So with this year, we're going to be at Gertrude's Muthaiga from 9 a.m.
Gertrude's here in Nairobi.
Yeah, Nairobi.
Okay.
From 9 a.m.
Okay.
It's just going to be, there's a whole panel of speakers. There's a lot of food. Then just different conditions to come together. So if you suspect your child has a rare condition, just come and or if you suspect that the life you're thinking you're leading is not healthy, we'll even have a psychiatrist in one of the panels.
For
Just
the
come.
mental health aspect.
Yes, I can't stress that enough.
I think that's very important.
Yeah, so just come, have fun, get to learn about rare diseases in Kenya, your homeland, and just go back a bit enlightened, even if you don't have anything with anyone with a rare condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for anybody who wants to, maybe they want to make it for the event on the 29th, how can they connect with Rare Disorders Kenya?
Our phone number is 0701 025 753. Email is info@rarediseasekenya.org, or Facebook, Twitter @rarediseaseke.
Okay.
We'll always respond.
Christine, if there's any corporate or any person who wants to support your cause, how can they do that? I know you've shared your contacts, but what other help do you need besides the financial part?
I was telling you during the break, somebody like me, I have therapies, I have clinics. Give me those offs to go do that. Don't wonder why is this lady always getting off from work. Something basic. Why is this lady always getting off from work to take the sick child to hospital? Kwani, how sick is that child?
So you're talking about the workplace?
Yes, the workplace. You asked me about corporate.
Yes.
That's the easiest fundamental. It shouldn't cost them anything.
Wow.
It
Like
cost them
flexible
anything.
working
Yes.
hours.
'Cause
understand when I have to leave.
yes, and I have to go now. You see, you can't put a timetable to your child's health. So that's the minimum they can do to us to help us.
Okay.
Then the rest now becomes how to help us create awareness in their own organizations,
hear you.
enlighten co-workers and all that.
I hear you. I can't let you go, Christine, without asking you this question, because this is a question that has also been asked by Abigail. I guess she read my mind. What is the role that genetics play when it comes to rare disorders, or is this something that is acquired?
72% of rare diseases are genetic in nature. The rest are not genetic.
Okay.
But you'll find that 72, and then out of that, 50% affect children.
Yeah.
And 30% of those kids don't live to see their 5th birthday.
That is sad.
So you can tell it's literally all in the DNA.
So genetics plays a big, a big part.
It does.
You're a very brave parent. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to share.
You're
have learned
welcome.
so much from you, and I can't even begin to imagine, as a parent of 2 children and you a parent of 2 children as well. I really, really admire you for your strength and courage. All the best. And what I know for sure, 29th February, I know one of the things you guys do as rare disorders all over the world, we need to wear black and white, the colors of the zebra, white stripes,
Denim,
black stripes.
Denim, jeans for jeans.
So D is for jeans, so I need to wear jeans on that day in
Saturday.
support?
Yes, jeans for jeans. Zebra is our stripes, but for where on that day we say jeans, like denim, for jeans, like DNA.
So denim jeans?
Yes.
And then I can do my striped top?
Yes.
So for sure, 29th February, I'll be in support, and I'll see where I can
you.
support in any other way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sawa.
And on that note, we've come to the end of today's episode of Today's Parent. I hope you've been inspired by Christine Mutena's story. And if you want to connect with her, just send us an SMS on 22999 so we can send the contacts to you. And if you're a parent afflicted in any way, make sure you reach out to us so we can connect you to Christine. I have been your host, Christine Kasina, and this has been Today's Parent, where we connect you with the experts and provide you with information that make your parenting journey a bit more easier. And for parenting resources, go to www.supermamas.co.ke If you're looking for kids furniture, make sure you come over to Little Cribs, the home of fun, exciting, durable, and affordable kids furniture. See you next time.